Okay, guys, let's start. I hope my voice is clear. Is my voice clear to you guys? Can you see my screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's clear. Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, that's great. So let's start. As-salamu alaykum, everyone. My name is Shazeb Ali, and I'm your instructor from Llama Technologies. Before we begin, some people didn't attend session one, so we are doing it. So we are covering session one in session two, and those who have already attended session one can also take session two. Can also take session can also take this session with us. But if you want to attend session two, you can join after 45 minutes. So let's begin. Let me give you a little introduction about myself to you guys. My name is Shazeb Ali and I'm your instructor from Llama Technologies. I'm the founder of Llama Technologies and I'm a grade 7 student. As well as I'm a trainer and Python programmer. You can visit my profile on LinkedIn and our company's website. Don't worry guys, I'll share this presentation with you guys. So let's have a glance at today's agenda. Today's agenda consists of 8 topics. First, we are going to be covering who are we, what do we do at Llama Technologies. Then we are going to have an introduction to Python. What is Python? And after that, we are going to learn that why should we learn Python? Because some of you guys may have questions that why not other languages, why Python? After that, we are going to compare the syntax of Python. Syntax is just basically the code, and then we are going to look at the use cases of Python. What domains we can use Python. After that, we are going to have a look at learning approach, course outline, and setting up the compiler. Before I begin, I want this session to be interactive, so if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me. So let's discover first that who are we? We are a software company based in Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, and we design multiple software solutions for enterprises. And our main areas are mobile application development, which is simply making mobile applications, which is simply making software applications but on mobile. Same goes for web development, making software applications but on web. Then we do software maintenance, repairing applications which are already built and maintaining them, bug fixes and security. Then we have e-commerce, e-shopping, we have management consultancy and technology courses which I'm giving to you guys right now. So next second part of our agenda is introduction to Python. So introduction to Python. Some of the earlier languages that came before before Python was C++ and C. So let's have a look at Python's history. Python is a widely used as general purpose high level programming language.
Wait, Shazib, listen to me. Someone else is here adding.
Oh, okay, no problem. I have one guy, he will admit everyone. Okay. Okay. So it was created by Guido van Rossum in 1991 and then it was further developed by the Python Software Foundation. So it helps programmers to express their concepts in fewer lines of code. Unless like in Java and C++, you have big lines of code. You have to write big lines of code just to write a just to display hello world. And we are going to cover that in our upcoming slides. Just wait, have some patience. So Python is used for mostly data science, artificial intelligence, and automation. So let's have a look at that. Why should we learn Python? Now, this might be some of your questions. Python is one of the most loved programming languages by developers, data scientists, software engineers, and even hackers because of its versatility, flexibility, and object oriented features. Don't worry if you can't understand these hard terms, I'm going to explain you in the upcoming sessions. So one of the big reasons that Python is famous is because of its abundant libraries, various frameworks, and it has vast collection of modules and file extensions. I know this is a hard keyword, but we are going to learn them in our upcoming sessions because we are going to then experience them. So Python is a high-level programming language and it has a short and clean syntax. And then it is therefore recommendable for both beginners and experienced programmers. So this is a bar just calculating just showing you the salary of an average Python developer compared to Java, C++, and JavaScript developer. So I'm just showing you that this is just an advantage of learning Python that you will get a good handsome amount of salary. Also Java, C++, and other programmers have a good salary, but in Python you have an advantage that you have more salary. So I would suggest you guys go for your interest, don't go for money. If you like Java, go for Java. If you like C, go for C. And if you like Python, then go for it for sure. So the next part of our agenda is use case of Python. So in Python, for in Python we can do many things. With Python, the first big use case of Python is data science. So data science is simply collecting big data and analyzing them into graphs. And for example, now you guys might say that why should we collect them into graphs and charts? Because, for example, when you have so much big data, you have to analyze it. And if you look at the same data in an Excel file or as some sort of other file, it will look clumsy, congested, and not good. So by using graphs, by analyzing it in graphs and charts, we can also detect patterns, trends, and relationship in datasets. Here I have a company sales, which they have analyzed their sales into graphs. And I want someone to tell me what type of graph is this, just for your knowledge.
Pie chart,
Yes,
pie graph.
yes, that's correct. It's a pie chart. This is called a pie chart, and here you can see that they have analyzed their data, renewable and contribution and new. And you can this is a bar chart and this is a histogram. So they have analyzed their data into a good way, and you can see you can detect relationships that the projected revenue is increasing. So don't worry if you don't know these graphs. I know this was just a short introduction to data science, and you don't need to study these types of graphs right now. So another use case of Python is web development. Some of the famous sites are built in Python, such as Mozilla, Reddit, Netflix, and Python has many frameworks which you can choose from. It has Butterpie, Flask, ChaiPy, and Pyramid, etc. And don't worry if you don't know what are these frameworks. We are going to learn them in our upcoming sessions. So, however, these days Python is not so much used for web development, but it has a strong strength in this domain. So, when you are building a big and a professional website, you divide that website into two parts. First part is front end, and then second part is back end. So Python is recommended for back end, and in front end we normally deal with graphics designing of the web, and we use CSS, HTML, or we can use JavaScript and other languages. And in back end we normally use Python, Ruby, or Perl. So, for example, let me give you an example. When we are building a website, we have to design a button. Now, that button will be designed by a front end developer, and then that button has to do some sort of task, some sort of function. So, the back end will code that button, and then that button will be used in the website. So, the role of the back end is to code that button, function that button, and the role of the front end is to design that button. So let's compare the syntax of Python. So syntax is simply the way the code is written, and the one of the biggest reasons that we should learn Python is because of its short and easy syntax. Here I have compared three languages, the syntax of three languages, and these are the three codes, and they do the same function. They display hello world. In Python, you can simply just write print, and you can just simply write hello world inside quotes and brackets. And don't worry, we are going to write that after this slide, after this presentation. And it is a short syntax. While in C language and Java, we have to write these big pieces of code. I'm not degrading C language and Java, but I'm saying that in Python we have an advantage. It has a short syntax, as you can see, short and easier syntax to understand. While in C and Java, it is a kind of hard syntax and hard to understand. So let's move on to our next topic of agenda, which is learning approach. So our learning approach will be simply first we'll set up our environment. We will do the installation of Python and we will write our first code. Then we'll learn the logic of our code. We will understand how our code works. After that, we will explore new topics, new concepts. And then fourth, we will practice and solving complex problems. Because when you go in practical world, you have different tasks to do, and for that you have to brainstorm. And we are going to practice that in this course. Lastly, we have post outline. So we have data types, data structures. Don't worry if you guys don't know what are data types, data structures. I'm going to explain them in the upcoming session. Data types, before data types, we are going to do a little bit introduction to Python, the print function and the input function. After that, we are going to go deep in data types, data structures. We have control flow statements. And lastly, we are going to learn functions. In functions, we have our built-in Python functions, which we are going to learn how to use it. And then we are going to learn that how can we make our functions to implement in our application. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. You can unmute your mics. Thank you. So I think we have no questions. We have no questions at all. So
How do we install this software?
I will show you. Don't worry. I will show you. I will show you right now that how can we install a Python. How will we install Python compiler and coder. So you can mute your mic now. Does anyone else have any questions?
No.
Okay, that's great. So before we begin the installation of Python, we have two options. Whether we can use Anaconda Jupyter Notebook, which is a lengthy option, and in this session we are going to use Google Colab because Anaconda is a lengthy option, but it is a good option. And if we need it in our upcoming sessions, we'll use it, but not right now. But you can do it in the meantime, and I will show you that how to install Anaconda. Don't follow me, just look at it, and then you can install it in your free time. So first let me escape this. Okay, so we'll just simply go to our Chrome browser and let me open it. Okay, so we'll press on the new tab and we'll go on the search bar. Now I want you guys to follow me, not right now, just have a look at it. Okay, we'll simply write download Anaconda. We are not going to use Anaconda once again. I'm just showing you. So just download, just press on this link and you will have your data science toolkit. So you will just simply press on the download button and you will simply go all the way down. If you whether it depends if you are on Windows, choose the first option, same for Mac and same for Linux. I will share the link with you guys in the chat. So okay, I have shared the link with you.
Should we download it?
No, you will not download it. For this lesson, we'll use an online compiler, online web compiler, which is called Google Colab. So now I want you guys to follow me. Please open your browsers and go on the search bar. After that, write Google Colab, and then you will have the first option, Google Colab, and then press on it. You will have this one, but just cancel it, and you will have what is collaboratory. I will share the link with you guys in the chat in case you can't open it. So open the second link, please, and follow with me. I want you guys to code with me and follow me. So press on the file button and press on new notebook. After you press on a new notebook, this notebook is automatically saved in your Google Drive, or you can simply download it by clicking the file button again. And the second last option, press on download, and you will have two options, download.ipynb and .py. I will suggest you go for the first option, and I will tell you that what is the difference in our upcoming session. Okay, so simply you will press on this connect and it will connect. It will take some time, 2-3 minutes. Okay, so it is connecting, initializing, and it is connected. That's great. So we'll write our first command here. Now I will write our first command, print and bracket start, quote start, and Shazay, and quotes closed and brackets closed. You can write anything you want, and if you want to rename your file, you can just simply press here. I will say our first code. So I will give you guys 5 minutes to set up the whole compiler, and if you are facing any problems opening the compiler, you can ask me. I'll give you 5 minutes to set up everything, and in the meantime you can ask me questions related to the course. Thank you.
Can you repeat the steps again?
Sure. You will simply go to the search bar and you will write Google Colab. And I've shared the link with you in the chat. Open the second link and simply press on this button and you will have this type of thing and just cancel it. You will have what is collaboratory here and simply go to the file button right here and press on it. And then press on the new notebook. After you press on the new notebook, it will automatically be saved in the Google Drive and you can also download it. So just,
Hello.
hello. So just write print, bracket start, quotes closed and brackets closed, and write hello world and press on this run
Should
button.
we do this?
Yes, you should do this. I'm giving you 5 minutes. You can set up the whole compiler, press the second link, and write this code. You can write anything instead of hello world and rename it. I will rename our Second. Oh, okay. So I'll give you guys 5 minutes to set up, and if you have any questions, ask me. You can ask me right now.
Hello world. I think mine is done.
Please unmute you. Please unmute your mic. Thank you.
You just joined, so what are you?
Okay. You can just simply press on the second link in the chat. Let me share my screen. Okay.
Can you show me the website again?
Saying
Yes.
chat to channel meetings is only available to the team
Okay.
member.
Simply press on
You
this
need
button.
to download the original one.
No, you don't have to download. You don't have to download. Just go to a search bar. Go to your search bar and write Google Colab. I have shared the link with you guys in the chat already. This one. I'm going to share
Who's the
again.
chat from the
You can see the chat. You can see the chat by clicking on this button. The button next to raise hand.
But it doesn't work. It says this chatting channel set meetings only available to team members.
Okay. Okay. So just simply go to your browser. Follow me. Simply open your browser. Have you guys opened your browser?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on the search bar write Google Colab. So and then just press enter. After pressing enter, the first link, press on the first link. Have you done that? Cancel it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now do you see this file button?
Yes.
Press on this file button and press on new notebook. After pressing on the new notebook, it will take to your new notebook, and then press on this connect button if you can see. Can you see that?
Yes.
And press on the connect button and wait for it.
Connect button what?
Press on this connect button. There will be a connect button right here. Can you see that button?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. After pressing on the connect button, it should give you this icon. Once it gives you this icon, right here, print, bracket start, quotes closed, and brackets closed, and write anything here. You can write your name. For example, I'll write Shazib, which is my name, and I will give you this command in the. Okay, you guys can't. Okay, so I will give you this command in the chat. If you guys can just simply copy paste it, or you can write it. I'm giving you guys 5 minutes and press on the run button. And I will give you guys 5 minutes. I'm giving you guys 5 minutes. Set up whole thing. Are you guys
I've done
facing any
that.
problem? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
This command also works in the Python program when I just checked it.
Okay.
After we write something, we'll click enter.
Not enter this button, the black button, run cell, and you should have this output, this display, this output, what you have written in the double quotes. So please raise your hand if you guys are done, so I can move on. Okay. Okay. So most of the guys are done. Let's give another
Hello,
try. Yes. Hello.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I just beg a pardon.
Okay. Are you facing any problems?
For me, it's saying something else. It's not saying.
Okay. Can you share your screen? Can you share your screen?
Oh,
I will stop sharing my screen. Share your screen. Hello.
yes. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. Wait. I think it's over.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
can.
can.
Yes, I can see your screen. Okay. So as I told you, Python is case sensitive. Okay. So instead of writing capital P, I want someone to help him. Qasim, can you help him?
What?
Can you help him? Can you help him fix the error? What error
Yeah,
he
I
is
can.
saying? Okay, help him.
Just remove that you written and just write it with the smaller letter, smaller case letter, and add a semi like the what do we call that?
Quotes, double quotes.
What?
Double quotes.
Double quotes. Just add the double quotes after the bracket. After the bracket.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. So most of the people are done. So let's move on to our lecture. Let me share my screen. Okay. So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me open my lecture one, which I've already opened. We already have just open your stay on your notebooks because we are going to write your code. So we have already we already had an introduction to Python. That Python is a popular programming language, yes, and it was created by Guido van Rossum and released in 1999. So it is used for so many things. These are the use cases of Python, and we are going to cover them in our upcoming sessions. So let's first discover the print function. Let me explain you in detail. Before discovering the print functions, let me explain you what are data types. Now, data types are the types of text. For example, the first data type is strings. Now, if I write anything inside double quotes, it will be a string. And if I write even a number 1, it will be a string because it will not be an integer. It will be a string because I'm writing inside double quotes. So these are strings, and then we will say we will assign that to a variable, which is simply in like math a equals to 1, and we will say print the type of a. Type is a function which is used to identify that what type it is, what type of data type it is. So let me run it again, and it is giving me string. Yes, it's a string because I have put it inside double quotes. Let's just comment that out. I want you guys to write this code with me. You can edit some numbers if you want to. So let's move on to integers. Now integers is
So
basically, yes.
Shazib, why is appearing green? These are comments.
Yes, these are comments. Comments are simply when you want to add some notes. For example, I will say that this is a function. So these are comments because this will not work. These are just extra notes. So these are comments, and I'm uh, I'm giving these comments because I want you guys to have the output display step by step. So integers. Now we have integers, and we are going to integers. Integers are simply basically any numbers. 45, 55, anything is an integer, any number. But note, any number with a decimal value is not an integer. It is a float, which we are going to learn now. So I'll say s equals to 45. You guys can change the variable name. And I want you guys to please write this code. And then I'll say print s, and then it will print 45. Okay, that's great. And then I will say print the type of s, and it's saying class int, so it is an integer, class int. So are you guys getting the same output?
Wait. Can you wait?
Yes.
Where did you get the print function?
Print function is simply just saying print brackets,
Yeah, where
brackets.
can I find it? I cannot see it in my library.
You have to write it. You have to write it.
Oh,
Yes. Okay.
Do,
So
can you
So
repeat that?
Shazib, do we need to declare these integer types or variables before doing the programming, like what we've been doing in the C? This is something we've been doing, or this is different because in the print we didn't declare anything before.
okay, so this is an advantage of Python. When you are declaring a variable to any data type, it automatically detects what type of data type is this. While in C, what you have to do is first you have to declare the data type, that I'm going to write an integer, and this variable is an integer. And you can't declare that in Python. It automatically detects for you. So let's move on to float. Float is basically writing any numbers but with a decimal value. So here it can be 56.8, 77.9. So so here I said d equals to 56.8, and then here I'm saying please write print d and write d equals any number with the decimal value. Please write that because I have already written, so I'm teaching you guys. So and I will run this. First it will print d, which is 56.8. After that it will tell me that this is class float. So float is any number with the decimal value. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask me right now, or are you if you are facing any problem.
I'm saying, can you repeat the integers?
Integers, okay. So integers are basically any number. Integers are basically any numbers. Integers can be 45, 55, any numbers. So simply just write s or any letter and say s equals to 45. After writing 45, you will say print s.
Dude, someone mic is open.
Okay. Wait. Mm, no. Yes. Princess Stanley, can you close your camera and mic?
Excuse me,
Yes.
can you? We can't see the chat messages.
You don't need to see the chat messages. You have to see from my screen and write it by yourself, so you can have practice of your coding. So let's get back to the topic. As Qasim said that, can you explain integers? Integers are basically writing any numbers. So just write s equals to 45, and then print s just to test if the variable is working. After that, write print, quotes, bracket start, type, bracket start again, s, brackets closed and brackets closed. I know it's confusing, but yeah.
What is the meaning of type?
Type is a function and it is used to identify the data type, what type of
Okay.
data type it is. So if I run this cell, it name integers. Oh, okay, my bad. This one, let me comment that out. Okay, so it is printing me 45, which I said print s. After that, I said print the type, and it is printing me int. So
I get it.
are you clear
I
with this
get it.
concept?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay, that's great. So if any of you guys have any other questions?
No.
No. Okay, that's great. Okay. So let's move on to the input function. Input function is simply when you want to, it is the opposite of print function. In print function, you are writing the output, you are writing the input, but in input, you will ask the user to write it. For example, I'm saying the syntax is very simple. You will say a equals to input. What in brackets? Let me just write it by myself so I can show you. Okay, so I'll say A equals to input, bracket start, brackets closed, and then quote start and quotes closed, and we'll say what is your name and question mark, and then we'll say simply print A. Here we are saying because A is the input that user will write. For example, let me run this cell, and I will say Shazib, and it will print Shazib. So you just simply made a program where you are taking the input from the user and printing it. So if you do you guys have any question related to the input function?
No, we are clear.
Any other?
No.
Okay, that's great. So we are clear with the input function. Let me give you another example. I will say s equals to let me say age. Age, you can have any type of variable name. Age equals to input, bracket start, brackets closed, quote start and quote closed, and I'll say what is your nickname. And we have another way of this. We can just simply say, let me comment that out. Okay, and then we'll just simply say print. Instead of declaring it to a variable, this is another short way. We'll say print, bracket start, and then here bracket start here again, and brackets closed here, and one more brackets closed. And so we'll say print, it will run this, and it will say what is your nickname. My nickname is Shaz, and it will print chess. So this is another way. Both do the same function, but here we are declaring a variable. You guys can follow any of the function. So I think everyone is clear with that. Any
I'm
questions?
saying, what is the meaning of this hashtag, the green thingy?
Okay, so this is simply when you want to add extra notes to your code. If I say that I have written this code and I want to add extra notes, so another time, so when I come another time and I want notes to remember that, revise that, so I'll just simply put the hashtag and say this is the input function, and this is a node and it will not run because this is a command already. Only this will run because we have not put hashtag with it. So
This
have you?
will log the command.
Yes,
This will log the command that the answer will not come.
this is just like notes. You put notes, right, for your study.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I
Clear.
will give you guys 5 minutes to copy this code, to write this code, look at my code and write it. You can edit some text if you want, that you want to write what is your age and other things. Please raise your hand if you're done with the input function, writing the input function.
I can't find the place to write the input function. There's no such thing in my collab.
Okay, can you open share your screen with me?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you see?
Uh, yes, we can see it now. Okay,
Yeah.
simply in it write input. First say a and space equals to and the space and write input. All should be small because Python is case sensitive. And then start with brackets and bracket start. Okay. So now write quotes, double quotes. Okay. Inside here, write what is your name. Name. Okay. And then and press enter after the brackets closed. No, before
Yeah.
after the bracket. And say print bracket and use the brackets which I've already teach you. No, don't do it with double quotes because it's you're just simply printing. When you're printing a variable, do it without double quotes.
Okay.
Okay. Write a in it. Okay. Now run this cell using that black button. Yes. Okay. So write your name here now. Okay. And then press enter. Okay. So it's printing your name. Have you are you clear with the concept?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can stop sharing the screen now and I'll share my screen. So please raise your hand if you have finished with the input function. Finished writing with the input function. So 4 people are finished. Let's wait for others. Uh, Let me give you 3 more minutes.
And what could be the reason as to why when I learn my program,
Yes.
what I get is that it is saying that unable to connect to the learn time.
Okay. Share your screen with me. Share your screen. Let's figure out the problem.
So I'm using my phone to communicate, but I'm using my laptop to. So I think let me share my screen right now.
Okay, no problem. We can wait for you. In the meantime, you can finish with the input function. So if you have any questions related to the input functions or any other thing, just tell me. Until then, I will share my screen with you guys until David comes. Okay. So this is the input function. And yes, we have already, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So let's move on to Python indentation. So indentation is simply giving spaces, and if you don't give spaces, Python is you should be very careful in Python that you need to give spaces between code, because the syntax is very you have to be very careful for the syntax of Python. Now here I've made an if else command, and let me first explain you what is if else. And when you are saying it in English, that if you do this I will punish you, else if you don't do this then you can go back to your class. So in Python it is the same, but it has a different way of writing. So we'll say if one, let me just write with you. So if one, please write with me, if one greater than two, then say print my bad. And you have to put this colons, because this is important, and after you press enter it will automatically take to you four spaces. But if you're not going four spaces, just simply press the tab button and you will be there, and you will say print. You can write any text you want. I will write one is greater than two. Okay. And then if I say, now if this condition is false, we will say else, because this condition is false, and then we'll say print 2 is greater, and then we'll run the cell and it will say 2 is greater. Now I will give you guys 5 minutes to copy the code and run it, and if you have any questions, ask me. And once you are done, please raise your hand. So you can put your hands down, and after once you are done, you can then raise your hand.
Shazib, can you share this code? If
Uh,
else, if else, yes.
yes, I'll share this code with you in the chat. Okay. So I have shared the code with you guys in the chat. You can copy and paste it, but I will not suggest you to copy and paste it. Write it with your hand so you get enough practice. And if you guys are finished, raise your hand. Only 3 people are finished, I guess. 2.
Can you open the website again? I need to see.
Sure. Take this. So are you finished, Qasim?
Yeah.
No, I'm doing it.
Okay. I want other guys to also write this code. Please follow me and write the code. And if you're done, please raise your hand.
It's giving me error.
Okay. Share your screen. Let's see your screen.
Can you see it?
Yes, it's loading. Okay, yes, okay. Now full screen it, okay. Okay, so print, okay. Put else behind. Remove the spaces before else, okay, and then press enter after else.
After
No,
else, okay.
after else. Okay, now after else give a right colon, okay, and then give 4 spaces after brackets.
Like this?
Okay, go back go all the way back, remove the spaces, okay, and press one more time back, and then press enter now.
What I press?
Press enter now. Press enter now.
It's not
Okay,
working.
it already gave you spaces. Now run this code.
But print is missing over here.
Okay, yeah, print. Write print. Go to
Here?
yeah, write print.
Should I give the space?
Yes, you should remove the space. Yes, remove more spaces. Okay. Remove more spaces. Okay, now before print, before P, no, it won't work.
Okay, okay.
Identification error. Before P, uh, erase this, cancel it, give 4 spaces.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, erase this all.
What?
If just
Okay.
one space will work.
Go back, go back all the way back, and press tab.
I
Yes,
clicked it.
now run it. Okay, so
Yeah,
let's.
let's go.
Okay, so now it's working. Okay, that's great. Let's move on. Raise your hand, guys, if you are finished. I want all of you guys to follow with me. Yes,
Thank you, dude.
no problem. Okay. So 6 people are finished. Okay. 7, that's great. Okay. 8, that's great. Okay, let's move on. Okay. So you can lower your hands now. Okay. So this is Python, as Qasim also made a mistake here, that if you skip the indentation, Python will give you an error if you skip the indentations. Indentation, as I simply told you, that indentation is spaces. So if I have given one space more here, let's say, okay. So this is the normal 4 spaces. Okay. Now if I give one more space, it's going to give me an error. Wait, here. I think that's weird. Oh. I think there's a compiler error. Let me have a look. Okay. Mm, there must be a compiler error.
Sorry, Shazib, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Shazib, I have a small question.
Sure.
Going back to the point where we were discussing the data types,
Okay.
when we are giving the input, we
Okay.
put things in it automatically identifies what is the data type. If I put a string, the data type would automatically be string. But if I put what is your age and then I will input a number,
Okay.
will it be identified as an integer or it will also be a string?
It will be a string because in input, if you are writing an integer, you have to first mention it. Okay. For example, like if I say, let me comment that out. And if I want to make an application, and I want the user to write his age, so I will simply say that input, and then bracket start, brackets closed, and then here before input, int int. Okay. Here I'll do that like this, and here I'll say write what is your age. Okay. So here I have already mentioned that this is an integer. Well, if you write it with a string, it will also work. For example, let me just comment that out. And if I write this, okay. Okay. Now I'll run this. And if I write 5, it will print 5, but it will be a string. It will say that 5 is a string, and it will not be an identified as integer. In print, if you write 5, it will automatically detect, but in input it won't. So I will comment that out, and I will say here input, and I'll simply say a equals to input, and then now I'll say print a. Okay, inverse index print a.
First, we have to input, I guess.
Wait. Mm, should work. Let's syntax. And that's weird. Can somebody run this code on your compiler and identify the mistake?
I think ending bracket is missing, one of them.
This
Maybe you
one
should remove the starting bracket before it.
here. Okay. Okay, that was a great spot. That was a great. That was great. Okay, I'll simply add what is your age 5, and then yes. So now it is identified as 5, and let me print the type of it. I want someone else to do that for me. I want. Can you do that for me? You can share your screen and write this whole code and tell me the type of A. You can share your screen. I'll stop sharing my screen.
So, Shazib, what I understand is that if you don't specify anything like for integer, it as the Python will understand that one as a string. If you really want to make an integer as an integer, you have to specify it, right? This
Yes,
understanding is correct.
yes, but only in input function. Only in input function, not in print function. In input function, you have to specify the data type. So, Amar, can you share your screen? I think he's disconnected. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so we can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have already covered this, and that was a great question by Amar and a great mistake spotted by him. Okay, so Python variables. Now we are going to learn about variables. We have already learned about variables, but a little bit revision. So variables is simply that in Python, when variables are created when you assign a value to it. For example, x equals to 5, and it automatically detects what type of data type is this. But in input function, you have to specify it as Mr. Ali Murtaza asked. Okay. So y equals to hello world, it has automatically detect this is a string, and then we have z. Z equals 45.8. Now when I run this, it will print this one, hello world, and this. Now I want Abdul Rahman to make three variables and assign different values to it and then print it. Abdul Rahman, can you share your screen,
Yeah.
please? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you can share your screen now.
Right. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. It's equal
Yes.
to
Just assign
alright,
any
anything,
value to
right?
it. Assign any value.
Okay. It's like, how are you? Then I write y, right?
Okay.
Uh, uh, wait, sorry.
There's a mistake in your code and you have to
Yeah, yeah,
identify it by yourself. I won't tell you.
yeah. And write you. Okay. Mistake.
Okay.
And then write print. Okay. X and print y.
Great.
Print z.
There's a
Wait,
mistake.
was there
There's a mistake in both of the three variables.
really?
Yes. And
Didn't this?
yes, that's correct.
Yeah. I gave it automatically.
No worries.
What's wrong?
Print Z. Z is not defined. You have not defined Z.
Oh, yeah, z
Yes.
zero text and services. Oh yeah.
Okay. That's great. So it's working for you. Okay.
Okay.
Now I want Qasim. You can stop sharing your screen. I want Qasim to write an input function for me. And what does that input function has to take the user's age, take the input as user's age, take the input of user age, and print it. Qasim, can you share your screen with us?
Yeah.
Okay, share your screen.
Can you tell me what you're saying that
Okay.
what you want?
Okay. Simply make an input function in which you will take the user's age. Okay. And after you have taken the user's age, print the user's age. Okay. First, take the user's age.
You mean what I write like what is your age?
Yes. What is your age? You can write anything. What is your age?
It's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Then
Then you have to print the user age.
oh my god, like this.
Yes. Okay. But it's not printing.
Okay, I got it. Should I write the input like this?
You let's just first write the print statement. Print the statement. You can write any of the. You can follow any of the method for print.
Okay. Do I need to add the space?
No, you don't. You don't. Not in the input function. Only in the f. Okay. Brackets closed. Okay. Now run this cell again. Run this cell again.
What?
Run this cell again. Run it again. Okay. Now right. Okay. Now I want you to print the type of A. What is the type of A? What type of data type? I want you to do it.
It's variable.
Uh, okay. You use the type function. Use the type function to show me. Let's see if you're correct.
Yep. Why I always do that? Okay.
Use the type function.
Should I have to add the brackets?
Yes, you have to add the brackets as I showed you. One more brackets. After type, remove the bracket after E.
What?
Remove the bracket after E.
Where's the E? Okay.
Okay. And then add another bracket after type.
Like this?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Right inside brackets A.
And then?
Take the bracket out. Take the bracket out. And yes. And one more bracket. One more bracket. Closing
Then?
bracket. Closing bracket. Not starting bracket. Closing bracket. Okay. Now print it. Now run the cell again. Again. Yes. Now write yes. And you gave me the answer variable. Okay, now it's a
Yes.
string. Now I want you, and now you gave the answer variable. Let me just
Bro, someone mic.
yes. Let me. Okay, he's moving. Okay, so now I want you to turn this input into string.
This one?
To turn the input into integer. This is string, right now, right? Now
Yeah.
I showed you that when we want to take the input as integer, how do you do it? So I want you to take this input in integer.
But
It's working.
yeah.
Okay, now it's working. Are you clear with the concept, right? Okay, you can stop sharing. You can stop sharing your screen now. Let me share my screen, and let's move on. Okay. So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So comments. Now comments. I simply told you that anything you want to add your notes, you can simply write hashtag, and then this is a print function, and after that you can simply say print hello world and done it. So yes, this is a print function. Okay. Now here.
Shazib, I can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen. Okay.
Okay, now I can. Now I can.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Now I can.
Okay, can you see my screen now? Hello, can you see my screen now?
No.
No.
Now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So now variable names. Let's move on to variable name, and there are several rules that you have to follow when you are writing a variable, a name of the variable. Okay. So a variable can have a short name like X and Y, or a more descriptive name, age, car name, total volume, tools. Okay. So now you guys, as you guys are beginners to Python, I would suggest you guys to write descriptive names so you don't forget variables. Okay. So for example, let's move on to rules for Python variables. Then I'm going to give you an example. So a variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. You can't start a variable name with an integer. For example, here I have wrote to my var, and yes, so it is giving me invalid syntax because you can't start here, as they said, you can only start with a letter or underscore character. Okay, Second rule, a variable name cannot start with a number. So here, as I already told you, this is the same rule. And then we have third rule, a variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. A to Z, 0 to 9, and underscore. Okay. So it can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. And variable names are case sensitive. Age, and age are three different variables. And let me explain you first. I want someone to volunteer for me to tell me that what is the difference between these three. Let me give you in the chat. Okay. Let me see who will volunteer. Okay. Shah Mustafa, can you volunteer for us? That what is the difference between these three variables? Age, assign three different values to them and print it. Can you share your screen? Hello. Okay.
Excuse me.
Share your screen.
I'm
Okay.
not sure. Wait, I think there's a network issue. Wait.
No problem. We can see your screen. Okay. Go to your notebook
Yeah.
and make three different variables. First, write age, all in small. Age. Remove the H. Can you make it full screen? The Chrome.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now put equal to age equals to 13. Now press enter. Press enter. Now make another variable, the same name age, but with a capital A, and equal to 14. Okay. Now press enter. Make another variable name age, but all should be capital.
Okay.
Okay. Now write 15 inside
Yeah.
and run the cell again. Run the cell again. So there are no problems. Okay. Now I want you to print these three variables. Print them. In the meantime, I will suggest you guys that follow Shah Mustafa code. What he's writing, so you can also understand it. I print these three variables in different lines, separate lines. No. Remove that. Write print bracket star. After print, write bracket star. After print, after print.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Remove the space before the brackets. Okay. And now write quotes open. Write double quotes. Okay. Now remove that double quotes because we are printing variable. Remove that double quotes and write age. All small. Now do that again. Write the same thing again. No, don't. Just okay. Now press enter and write the same thing in a new line. Same thing. And here write age. Yes. Great. Okay. Now run the cell. Okay, so here I just asked Shah to run this code, and these are three different variables. Python, just stay on the screen. So Python is case sensitive, and if you put age with a capital A, and if you put all capital or all small, these are three different variables. Python is not going to consider them all the same because of the spelling, but it's going to consider them different. Okay, Shah, you can stop sharing your screen. Great work.
Okay.
Nice. So, if you guys are finished with writing these three different variables, please raise your hand.
Excuse me.
Yes.
My code is not working.
Okay. Share
Can
your
you
screen.
help?
Yes. Share your screen. I'll stop sharing my screen. Share your screen. Okay. So you are here. Okay. So simple. That's great. Okay, you are making two variables. Okay. Now, give four spaces before print. Go to before print and press tab. Press tab. Okay. Now go to the next print statement after else and press tab and remove the space after print. This one. Remove the spaces and same for the up one and now run this cell. Okay, so now it's working. Are you clear with the concept? Have you understand it?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Okay. You can stop sharing your screen. Wait one. Okay. So most of you guys have done. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we have finished with the variable names and we are going to go now with multi-word variables name. Now here variable names with more than one word can be difficult to read. So there are several techniques you can use to make them more readable. Now we have camel case, and in camel case, you guys don't have to remember that what is camel case, pescal case, and snake case. Just simply understand what are these, and you don't need that in future. So each word except the first starts with a capital letter. So everything before only every word starts with a capital letter except this one, except the first, except the first starts with a capital letter. Okay. Just write it if you guys want to, and if you guys don't want, just don't write it because we have already practiced with variables. Just follow me. Just listen to me. Okay. Now Pascal case. Pascal case. Each word starts with a capital letter. So M starts with a capital letter, V starts with a capital letter, and N starts with a capital letter. Okay, that's Pascal case. And snake case. Each word is separated by an underscore character. So my underscore variable underscore name. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask me related to these cases. Any questions?
So from these variables, what I understand is this is just the way you want to manage your variables, right?
Yes,
Like
exactly.
variable could be anything.
Yes, it can be anything. These are
Okay.
just organized based. Any other one has any questions?
It just says, how long is the class?
Class is we have 15 minutes left. No problem. 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's move on to making variables, and we have already made these variables. Okay. So now here we made two variables and we printed them together. And when you want to print two variables in a single line, and it should be separated by comma. So here let me just okay. So I will say first name equals to Shazib Ali. Okay. And then I'll say second. I want you guys to write this code with me, please. Second name equals to let me. Oh my god. Okay. Shazib Ali. Okay. Okay. Now I will simply say print the normal statement we used, and inside will say first name, and then separated by a comma will say second name. Second name. Okay. And then we'll just run this cell. And if I will give you guys 5 minutes to write this one, and if you have any questions you can edit this text, and if you have any questions you can ask me right now, and please raise your hand if you have finished with this one.
You're done.
Okay, you can just simply raise your hand. We'll wait
Yeah,
for
I'm
others.
done.
Just simply raise your hand. We'll wait for others. I will give you the code in the chat also. You can copy paste it. Okay, Okay, so most of the guys are done. I'll give you extra 2-3 minutes. Okay, so are you done, Mr. Aman? Okay. 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 So let's move on. Okay. Now assigning multiple values. Okay. Here, what we'll do is that we want we in a single line we will make 4 variables and we will assign them 4 different values. So assign multiple values, many values to multiple variables. Now Python allows you to assign values to multiple variables in one line. So here I said x, comma y, comma z, comma w. So these are 4 different variables. And here I said equals to orange. So x equals to orange, y equals to banana, z equals to cherry, and w equals to apple. So simply you can just simply print them separately by saying print x, y, z, w. And here I'll run this code and it's giving me orange, banana, cherry. I'll share the code with you guys in the chat, and once you are finished the same rules, you can raise your hand. Okay, so most people have finished. That's great. Okay. If you guys have, do you guys have any question related to this?
I have one question.
Yes.
Why is there not a space between the Z and W?
Z and W. Well, it depends. You can give spaces if you want, and you cannot. It depends all on you. If you want
It's
to
just
give
the
spaces, okay.
grammar to put space.
Yes, it depends on you. If you want to give spaces, and if you don't, you can't. Okay, that's it. Are you clear with the concept?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was testing this on the Python program. It also works. It's the same.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay. So here is a list and tuple list. Okay, let's remove that because that's not related. That was before the other session. Okay. So one value to multiple variables, we can also do that. Orange, it is the same as this. You can write that code if you want, but it's all up to you if you want to write. Okay. Now let me just delete this. Okay. Now we have finished our session, and here I have a problem for you guys. I will give you guys 10 minutes, and this is the last exercise of the day. I know you guys are tired, but I hope it will be fun for you. So what you have to do that in this program, user is asked to input a character, and the program checks whether the entered character is equal to the lowercase or uppercase vowels. If it is, then the program prints a message saying that the character is a vowel, else it prints that the character is consonant. So I will give this in chat. Okay. Please lower your hands, and I will give you guys 10 minutes. I will give you guys 10 minutes to solve this problem. And once you are finished, raise your hand. And if you have any problem, raise your hand. We will solve it, and we'll look at everyone's code separately, individually. Okay. Okay, so 3 people are finished. Let's wait. Let's get if there are 2 people are finished. Okay, let's wait for 5 people. If 5 people are finished, then we'll move on.
Is this task a homework or we have to do it right now?
You have to do it right now. There's another homework for you guys, but you have to do it right now. I will give you 10 minutes. Do it right now. Okay. And if you are facing any problems, we'll look at it. Just take your time, solve it, and then I will explain you. Okay. I've shared the problem with you guys in the chat already. You can see from there. And please raise your hand once you are done. And if you're facing any problems, raise your hand. We'll look at it. Abdurrahman, are you done? Fatma Imran, are you done? Other guys.
It's just hard figuring how to write the code.
No problem. Take your time. We'll look at it. If you have any problem, we'll look at it.
Shazib, can I share my code with you?
Yes. Let's just wait 5 minutes more for others, so that they can also have a look at it. Okay.
Actually, I need a support. It's not working.
Okay. You can share your screen.
Okay, what is wrong with that one?
Okay. So simply just give space after A, just to have it neat. Okay. And the I is capital. It should be small. Okay. Now after that, next line, go to the next line,
Okay.
and I is capital again. Make it small. Okay. Now here give space between A. After A give space. Okay. So if A equals to this, or now write after or write A equals to. You have to write after every.
For every, I need to write it down like this.
Yes. You have to write two equal to.
2 equal to?
Yes, that's the operator. That's the rule in Python. Same for before.
And over here as well.
Yes, and you
If A
can.
equal to A,
Yes,
or is fine. A equal to E, right?
and you continue like that.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, you can mute your mic. Okay. So Abdurrahman, are you done with the problem? Other guys, Fatma and Imran?
Yeah, if I just figure it out, I'm just gonna write in the code.
Oh, okay. Okay. Shah Mustafa, you done?
Where's the chat?
Chat. If you go right here, if you press it here, show conversation. Can you see that?
No, I can't see that.
Okay. Just I will take you here, right here. Okay. So this is the problem here in this program.
Okay.
Okay, guys, please stop writing code. Let me explain you the problem first, and I'll ask you questions. Okay, so let me share my screen. You can lower your hands. Okay, so can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So let's move on to the whiteboard. You guys might not have a whiteboard. Okay, I will explain you the problem here. Okay, so first let's move on to the problem. Here it says in this program, user is asked to input a character. Okay, so can anyone tell me what is the first step I will do? How to take the input for the user? Abdurrahman, can you tell me?
Uh, a what is it?
You can make it
The
any variable. Let's say A.
Yeah, a equal to input
Okay,
uh, enter an alphabet. Yeah, with the quotes in enter an alphabet.
okay,
Enter an alphabet. Yeah.
okay. Here we'll just write enter. Okay, and then let's move on to the next step, which they said the program checks whether the entered character is equal to the lowercase or uppercase vowel. Just simply remove this lowercase or uppercase. It checks because it might be confusing. So if it checks is equal to vowel or not. Now Shah, can you tell me what do I have to write? What condition?
We could write the code.
Yes, which code? Should I write if, else statement, what statement?
Um, A equals to B.
A, okay, let me show you. Okay, we'll simply write the if statement as I showed you that if A equal to we'll say double quotes and here A. Okay, so we'll keep continuing doing like that, and we'll also use the or. The or is a keyword, and what does it do? That if you want to pass multiple conditions, you can use the or else if. But I will suggest you use the or right now. Let me move on to the code and let me show you. Okay, so let me first run the code, and if I say a, it will say me that this letter is a vowel. Now the code is letter equals to input, please input vowel or consonant. Okay, now we'll say if letter equals to A or letter equals to E or I, and we keep on going. After that we have finished with small letters, because exceptions can happen in the program. So if for example if a user writes a capital letter and you have only mentioned for small letters, so it will give me a consonant, but it's a vowel, right? So you will also have to mention with A, E, I, O, U. Okay, and then after that we'll say print this letter is a vowel, else print this letter is a consonant. Have you guys understand? Is there any confusions?
I think my code has a problem. I don't know. I cannot find the problem.
Share your screen, let's figure out the problem.
Uh, yeah, okay. I was writing the vowel consonant code, but
Okay,
I just can't find the problem which I
okay. Let me. Okay. So okay. Is A equals to A or A? Okay. Okay. The problem here is that. Hmm. Okay. You have not put a colon.
Huh?
Do you realize that you have not put a colon after you?
You. Okay. Column.
Yeah.
Column.
Yes. Put a colon,
Well, oh, column. Okay.
and then you have to give 4 spaces, as I told you before.
We're probably represented.
Yes.
Okay.
Simply just simply give 4 spaces before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now go to the column tab. Go to the column tab. After column, press enter and write print. Okay. Now after print, write print. It's a vowel. In quotes, write it's a vowel.
Yeah.
And then
Then.
after that, use the else statement. Else
Else.
colon, and then press enter.
Then print. It's a consonant.
Okay, now run this code. Write A. It's a
Okay.
vowel. Okay. Now run this cell again. Run this cell again.
Yeah.
And write A with a capital A. Write a capital A.
A consonant.
Okay, yes, it's a consonant because you have not mentioned, you have already mentioned for small letters. You have not mentioned for a capital letter. So I
Ah.
want, so I want you to do the same thing. In the meanwhile, Shah, are you finished or are you facing any problem?
Done.
I'm done. Okay, share the screen with us so we can also see the
Okay.
code. Okay.
Okay.
Abdurrahman, in the meantime, you finish that code and we'll get back to you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you have finished if A equals to okay. Now run this code.
Yeah, I have run it.
Run it again just to show us. Now write write you.
Capital or small?
First write small.
Okay.
Press enter.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's working. Now write another. Run the cell again. Run the cell again and write capital U. So it's a consonant, and you did the same thing as Abdurrahman. You did a good job, but you have to just write multiple statements after or A equals to U. Write another or, and then simply just write capital letters instead of small letters. So are you clear with the concept?
Yeah, I'm done with my code.
Okay. Share your screen.
Okay. Yeah, I run the command. So if I put the small letters and the capital letters. So if I put A, it will say a vowel. And if I run it again, put the smaller case A, it will also say a vowel.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Nice job. So, partner man, are you facing any issues? Well done, Abdurrahman.
No, I am done.
Okay, okay, you are done. Okay, that's great. So, this was the end of the session, and I think others have also done the code written. So, I will give you guys the assignment for the next session, and I hope you guys like the session. You guys can tell me if you have any questions, you can ask me, and you guys can tell me that how was the session, was it good or not, and any suggestions to
Yeah, it
improve
was
it.
good.
It was good. Okay. That's great. So,
Assalamu alaikum, Shazeb. This
y-
is Ubair.
yes.
Regarding the assignment, because there was also an assignment last week,
Okay.
which you mentioned in the WhatsApp group. So now it's the same assignment, or it will be like different? Because if you have some time, we can discuss the first assignment also.
Sure, you can share
Or
your screen now. You can share your screen now and we can discuss the assignment.
okay, so this you can see my screen.
Not yet. Yes, we can see it now. Okay.
Okay, so basically the question was to input the length and breadth of a shape and
Okay.
determine that if it is area, if it is a square, then we'll have to output it accordingly, and if
Okay.
it's a rectangle, we'll have to output it accordingly. So, I mean, if you can check this code,
Sure, you can try to run this code.
yeah.
Okay.
So I just made a variable with the integer type,
Okay.
and I will input, and then same for the breadth, like 8.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened. So then it is outputting the shape is a rectangle because it's different, and area is this. So
Okay.
I just wanted to confirm that if this was the requirement or if there is anything
Yes,
else.
that is correct, and you have done a great job. Actually, sorry for that. We couldn't cover the session 2 in this because we didn't had enough time. We will cover in the next session. I will inform you when
Oh,
we'll have the next session. In the next session, we'll cover
oh,
data types. Okay. So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
okay. I'll share the file with you. You can stop sharing your screen. So if you have any questions, if anyone has any question, they can ask me right now. This session will be divided into 5 parts. The first part we have already done now, and we also done the first part before, but this was the first part, and we will I will inform you when our second session is, because Ramadan is coming and the timings change for other people. So I hope you guys like the session. You can give me any suggestions to improve the session, and I will share the assignments and these files and presentation with you. So any questions?
No.
Okay, I think we have no questions. Okay, so see you in the next session. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Okay.
Can you
Allah Hafiz.
can you recommend some videos to us to understand more Python?
Yes, I can recommend you a video, and you can also. I have also recorded this session. I will also share this session with you again. I will share this with you on the Microsoft Teams and also on WhatsApp. So don't worry about it. I will recommend you videos. Okay.
On private chat?
On Microsoft Teams here and also on WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Bye.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Salam.
And Allah